Hey everyone, it's Sonia here. So today I wanted to give you an update on what's going on in China, especially in Shanghai, which hasn't gotten any better. I find it very concerning because it's like the world is just sort of standing by, watching this unfold. In case you're wondering how come so much information is coming out, it's leaking out because the government is so busy enforcing the lockdown. They're not also able to enforce the usual censorship policies online. So a lot of footage and stuff is coming out. But the whole world is standing by and watching this, and no one is saying, hey, this is insane. What are you doing? So I'm wondering if it could happen in China. Maybe could it happen here too? And I'm wondering also why would they do this? I mean, look, there's a few possibilities. Option A, they're completely insane. They think they can get rid of COVID and continue like that forever. Doesn't make sense. As soon as somebody else comes into the country, they're going to bring COVID. I mean, they're going to just be doing this forever if they go that route. It seems impossible. And you should maybe check out Dr. John Campbell's recent video about Shanghai. And he's also saying it doesn't make any sense. You can't really get rid of it. Wouldn't getting herd immunity be some better strategy? But anyway, that's possibility number one. They're just insane. Possibility number two is that this is more of a political oppression against their own people. There's some evidence for that based on the fact that they're really restricting their access to food, which I'm going to show you more of info on that. Possibility number three would be that, and this is just totally hypothetical, but maybe the Chinese know something about COVID that the rest of us don't. And so they have some secret reason for why they think it's really important to get rid of it completely. Or number four, what if it's not really COVID? What if they're just telling us that this is a COVID lockdown, but actually there's some other kind of disease? This is purely speculative, but what if? What if something else came out of a lab? It's probably not that, but all these things have gone through my head. Personally, I would go with option two as the most likely, but who knows? Maybe they have some reasons for why they're doing this. Anyhow, before I start, I just want to say thanks for liking the video, and thank you for your support on Patreon. That keeps my channel going. I actually really don't make a lot on here, so I do rely on viewer support. So thank you for your support at patreon.com/thetruthergirls. And also, if you're looking for MREs and you would like a discount, My Patriot Supply is by far the #1 preparedness company to rely on, with millions of satisfied customers this past year. Act quickly and save $150 on a vital 3-month emergency food kit. This kit provides breakfasts, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks, totaling over 2,000 calories a day. Your order ships quickly and arrives in unmarked boxes for your privacy. Don't wait any longer. Go to preparewithtruthergirls.com. So please check that out for more info and a discount if you're interested. So let's talk about what's going on in China. So you had seen in my last video some footage of these apartment buildings with people wailing on their balconies, crying. Actually, a lot of them were screaming, "We're starving." Well, this is still continuing. There's more footage that has come out showing that people are still locked in and screaming on their balconies. Apparently, they're also saying that they're starving. So this is just ongoing. People are really suffering. In fact, there was also this footage of a woman who is straight up wailing that she's starving and she's obviously in pain from it. And she's crying out, asking for help, that she needs food. And then the other woman who's there with her says, "Stop wailing. They're not going to help you." So Shanghai is still locked down. And on top of that, they've now brought in these green fences to help lock them down. The fences, around 2 meters tall, were installed around buildings designated as sealed areas where at least one person has tested positive for COVID-19. Everyone living inside a sealed area is forbidden from setting foot outside their homes, whether or not they have the virus. So it's a bit like medieval uh, tactics for dealing with the plague, where you just lock everyone in their homes, the sick with the healthy. So Shanghai is now full of these fences so that no one can leave their home, and they can't infect each other. I had another article here from the Globe and Mail. Shanghai blockades, COVID hit buildings, sparking fresh outcry over citywide lockdown. Now, what's interesting about this one is this was the picture that came with it. And notice that she has her dog with her. In my last video, I showed that they had been taking away the cats and dogs in Shanghai, but maybe it was only the cats and dogs of people who were infected. Anyway, I thought that was interesting that she definitely has her little dog with her. Let's hope they don't take it away. So when they say lockdown, they mean really lockdown, like as in you're stuck in the house, and if you don't have food, you're completely screwed. Footage has come out. These people are rattling these bars that have been placed in front of, I guess, the entrance of where they live. They're locked in. They're rattling the bars, and you see the men in white there just standing by. Nobody's going to help them get out, that's for sure. And even more mind-blowing, some footage came out from inside an apartment building. Look at what they did. They went to the lengths to put barbed wire in the stairwell. There's literally barbed wire in the stairs, so you cannot go down the stairs. Wow. I guess there's no lengths they won't go to stop people from leaving their homes. But wow, how scary is that? Locked in, and then even barbed wire. I mean, this is a nightmare. Why is there nothing in our news saying that this is a humanitarian crisis that the government is doing to their own citizens? I mean, really, you know, we get upset about much smaller things, and yet there's almost no coverage of this. So people are locked in, but on top of that, if they are able to get out, there's nothing in the supermarket. Everything, just about everything is gone. Shelves are empty. And as I had shown you in my previous video, all this food that the government had packaged for people, which they did do, it just ended up in these warehouses, and it was being thrown into dumpsters. More information about these packages from the government. So here's a truck supposed to be delivering food, but look where it's going. It's going straight in the garbage truck. So people are not getting these deliveries. And just recently, another piece of footage came out showing some people who had received the food from the government, and it was spoiled. It had worms in it. So it was inedible. Maybe that's why they're throwing it out, because they know that it's not fit for human consumption. But either way, people are not getting food. I think it's a little bit more deliberate than, oops, the food went bad because we were too slow. Because footage has also come out, actually, of food just being straight up destroyed. So here's like fresh produce, tons of it, and look what they're doing to it. They're just hacking it up and throwing it out. And on top of that, in case some people thought, well, you know, we'll weather this storm by just growing some food of our own. Apparently the government won't allow you to do that either. They were caught on camera here destroying the vegetable garden of some people. Apparently they think that vegetables might have COVID. So if people get COVID, I guess they're going to get sick, and some people are going to die. But, you know, if you don't let them eat their food, it's pretty guaranteed that they're not going to make it. So I don't know. What is the logic here? They are absolutely obsessed with testing everything. They have been seen testing fish and also chickens. At least he's giving the chicken a little cuddle. And they've also been spotted putting masks on goats. That was very, very strange. Wouldn't it be easier to just put a hazmat suit on the person who's dealing with the goats? Yeah, it's got like a kind of Twilight Zone sci-fi sort of vibe to it. I wish this wasn't real. And as for the people who are bringing those food deliveries into the city, those deliveries that probably nobody will ever receive, they're not allowed to leave their delivery trucks. The truck gets sealed with a piece of tape, and the driver gets handed a poop bucket and a piss bottle. So, and then yes, he'll probably bring that food in. It won't get distributed, and then it'll go in the garbage truck. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, have they completely lost their minds, or is there some other disease that we should be worried about? Or is there something about COVID that is really that serious that you could starve millions of people and kill a whole bunch of them to try to avoid it spreading? I mean, really, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Something weird is going on. I mean, if that's the case, somebody should tell Florida. Well, it's probably too late for that. Anyhow, of course, I'm sure you're wondering, well, aren't the people reacting? And of course they are. They've absolutely had it with this craziness. So the government is dealing with more and more civil unrest, and people are actually starting to shove those birdmen in the hazmat suits. It's just sort of got to the point where they're just so hungry and they're so done that they're just not going to take it anymore. Some people have also just kind of presented themselves to the police, violating the health laws so that they could get arrested, so they could be brought to jail where at least they'd have some food. This man straight up walked up to the police and was like, yeah, please take me to jail. I'm homeless, I'm hungry, and, I'd rather be in jail than starving out here on the streets. I kind of wonder what would happen if millions of people started doing that. Everybody just came out maskless and disobeying the quarantines. I think that the government knows that maybe it's right around the time where that's going to start happening, and that's probably why they put that barbed wire in the buildings. Anyway, this whole thing is an absolute nightmare, and I'm just really shocked seeing this happening. And yet, if you look at the Western media, they're saying almost nothing about it. They'll just say, oh, well, there's fences up, or there's this or that. They don't explain to you like how bad it really is. So that's totally screwed up. So I thought you might want to know what's going on. I mean, I really don't know what we could do about this. We're looking at the situation, but like I said in my other video, you just feel so helpless. Maybe getting the word out is a good thing. Maybe that would put pressure. Maybe somehow the international community could put pressure on them to stop this. And on the other hand, it's like a warning to us. I mean, they might not go for zero COVID in the West, but they might decide that certain people can be locked up like that indefinitely if they're deemed to be a risk. I mean, it's hypothetical, but I guess it's possible. Anyway, let me know what you think. And thanks again for liking the video, and thank you for your support on Patreon. And thank you for checking out the link if you're looking for MREs. And thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.
The Truth Girls.